super high.
What's going on YouTube? What's going on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? You know what this is, another episode of Big Pat Sports Talk. You know, I'm going to talk my talk no matter what anybody thought. True Big Blue till I'm through. And today's going to be a report on some offensive linemen for our New York Giants, man. Shane Lemieux, Nick Gates. Reading the reports. Nick Gates, Giants injury update. Nick Gates injury, career threatening, question mark. Shane Lemieux back this season, question mark. The Nick Gates injury is looking pretty bad. He has to get more surgeries. He's still in the hospital, multiple fractures to his leg. They're saying that it could be career threatening. Something like how Alex Smith's injury was career threatening. But Alex Smith bounced back. And Nick Gates is one of the toughest son of a guns in any uniform. And I believe he will bounce back. I'm going to read to you this article here on Bleacher Report. It says the news on injured New York Giants offensive lineman Nick Gates and Shane Lemieux, both are on IR, was vastly different on Thursday. Gates, who fractured his leg versus the Washington football team, needs more surgeries and could be facing the end of his career. Lemieux, who underwent surgery for a partially torn patella tendon, might not be done this season, which is good news. If we could get Shane Lemieux back, we need all the offensive linemen we can get. We need as much depth as we can get. Now on Nick Gates, who has started 18 games for the Giants, remains hospitalized in the D.C. area. He faces more surgeries on the leg he fractured in gruesome fashion last Thursday. Yes, that was a gruesome injury. Prayers go out to Nick Gates and his family, man. I hope he has a great recovery. But let's get back to the article. I'd be lying from my perspective. I said no head. Coach Joe Judge said Thursday when asked if Gates' injury could be career-ending. I know he's going to get the best medical care possible. We're confident he's going to be able to come back. However, my fear for any guy who goes through something like this, yes, it could be a career-ender. Nick Gates' agent also made remarks telling ESPN that he believes Gates will be back next season. John Persley, which is Nick Gates' agent, says, "Mark my word, Nick Gates will be back in blue next year. While in some cases these types of injuries can be career-threatening, Nick's situation is not that. It doesn't hurt that he is the toughest guy on the planet." As you can see, man, they was putting the cast on Gates in the game. And I have to agree, Nick Gates is one tough son of a gun, man. If anybody's going to come back from this, it's going to be Nick Gates. So, Giants community, man, keep him in your prayers. I'll be praying for him. I hate to see anybody get an injury like this. Same thing with Alex Smith. He got the best care. It took him a little while, but he came back, and he actually performed pretty well until he had to retire last year. But prayers out to Nick Gates, man. Seriously, man. Serious injury. This is the way he feeds his family. This is the way he protects his friends, provides for himself, provides for his family, and this is his passion. This is what he loves to do. So prayers up to you, Nick Gates, for a speedy recovery. Don't give up. I know you're not going to give up. And I know you're going to be in Big Blue next year, man. You are one tough son of a gun. And we miss you. On to Lemieux. He says he underwent surgery on Wednesday. He suffered an injury in the first few days of training camp and had been trying to play through it. He played 17 snaps in the season opener against the Denver Broncos before coming out the game. He did not play the second game of the season against Washington. And quotes, "We're optimistic that this isn't going to be anything overly long term. My biggest fear as a coach is something is going to be career ending for a player. Judge says Lemieux's surgery was a little less invasive than a complete reconstruction, and there's a chance he could return this season. That's good news. Also, he says, we'll see what this turnaround looks like, Judge said. I wouldn't rule out anything for his return this year at this point. I couldn't give you any kind of expected timetable. It sounds like everything went pretty well for him, and this wasn't the worst case scenario. Lemieux suffered this injury in the beginning of training camp. I think he should have got this surgery from the very beginning, but like I said, he's another tough son of a gun. He tried to play through it. I believe the pain threshold was just a little bit too high, and he wasn't able to move the way he needed to move to be able to be the best lineman that he could be. I'm glad he decided to get the surgery, and hopefully he can be back towards the end of the year, and hopefully we're playing meaningful games towards the end of the year. But that's the report on our lineman, Nick Gates and Lemieux. Prayers out to Nick Gates. May he have successful surgeries on that leg, and I can't wait to see him next season on our offensive line. I believe we're going to have a strong offensive line next season if everything progresses the way it's supposed to be progressed. Let's see what Matt Peart can do at guard against the Falcons. And we're going to go on from there, man. Giants fans, our team, man, we're just going to have to progress. We're going to have to fight through the injuries to our offensive line. Hopefully they still continue to surprise us throughout the rest of the season, especially with their pass block, and open up some of those passing lanes for DJ to throw that ball to our receivers, our playmakers, our weapons. And let's go and get this victory this Sunday at home, Eli Manning Day. Let's bring it home for Eli. Let's show him a good time, man, while they retire his jersey. But that is your Giants report today on our offensive linemen, Nick Gates and Shane Lemieux. Nick Gates, you know, is done for the season, but I hope and I pray that he has a great comeback and he comes back next season even more nasty, even more tough, and even more prepared to play that guard position, because when he was playing that guard, he was playing pretty good. And shout out to Shane Lemieux. Congratulations on your surgery. Everything went well, and hopefully we can see you back in uniform this season. But that's the end of that article for Giants offensive lineman Nick Gates, Shane Lemieux. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you want more reports on Big Blue like this from Big Pat Sports Talk. I'm Big Pat. You know I'm going to talk my talk no matter what anybody thought. True Big Blue till I'm through. And this has been your Giants offensive line report from Bleacher Report. And until the next report, peace.
Super high.